It was right around the 16-bit era that I fell in love with the beat-em-up genre. The Super Nintendo featured some amazing titles such as the Final Fight series and my all-time favorite, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. However, there is another great beat-em-up that I remember quite fondly, and believe it or not, it's a movie license game. Batman Returns on the Super Nintendo.
Remember all those great games we used to play growing up in the 80s and 90s? Most of them are sitting in an attic or garage somewhere, doing nothing but gathering dust. My opinion is, we should give them another look.
While I do love this game, I'm actually not a big fan of the movie it's based on, and before we go any further, let's get the movie out of the way, because it provides the game's entire storyline. Batman Returns hit theaters in 1992 and was released by Warner Brothers, and was the direct sequel to 1989's Batman. Both films were directed by Tim Burton, whose take on the Batman franchise was dark and over the top, and strayed from the original comic source material. The movie stars Michael Keaton as... who are you again?
I'm Batman.
Danny DeVito played a very different Penguin than we were familiar with, as he played a deformed penguin-like freak show creature. I personally preferred Burgess Meredith's depiction. Michelle Pfeiffer played Catwoman and did a great job, yet the storyline of her having 9 lives like the cat myth was a little hokey, and I would have preferred her actually being a cat burglar. The story revolves around the Penguin running for mayor while secretly hatching a plan to kidnap all the firstborn children of Gotham. The Penguin and Catwoman team up to take down Batman's credibility to the people of Gotham. In the end, Batman foils the Penguin's plot and Catwoman slips away. It's actually not a terrible movie, and its art design is just beautiful. However, as a part of the Batman franchise, it just strays a little too far from reality for me. But that's not important. What is important is this fantastic game. Right from the Konami start screen where the snow starts falling, I could tell that it would capture the look and feel of the movie. The graphics and art design are just simply beautiful and feature something very important to me: large, well-drawn characters. The enemy design is fantastic, and they actually feature characters directly from the movie. Much like all fighting games, these characters are recycled, with different color patterns as the game progresses. The level backgrounds are beautiful and feature the set designs from the movie. One really cool feature of the backgrounds are that they are destructible if you interact with them. One bad feature is that the backgrounds come to the forefront at some points, obscuring your view. The game's story progresses with between-level cutscenes that are actually images lifted directly from the movie. While not spectacular, they were very well done for the Super Nintendo. Batman Returns brought the arcade experience home for me with its amazing graphics and a visual style that matches the movie perfectly, but that's only halfway. For this game to be a truly special experience, it really has to play well. This game is classified as a beat-em-up, but it is actually a multi-genre game. First off, let's talk about what it does really well, and that is the scrolling beat-em-up stages. Batman is just a badass in these stages, as he walks through the Penguin's minions dishing out justice. The gameplay here is very similar to the Final Fight games, where you can do basic combo attacks, jumping attacks, and my favorite, grapple attacks, where you can do a devastating choke slam, a double noggin knocker, or simply slam them off a wall, which can destroy the backgrounds. The second genre is side-scrolling 2D platforming, which is done reasonably well. My only complaint is that it forces you to use your Batarang as a primary weapon, when in most situations I would rather just kick or punch. The third mode is a driving stage of the Batmobile, which relies heavily on the Super Nintendo's Mode 7 graphics. While the driving stage isn't perfect, it's a nice diversion that features the very cool Batmobile. In all three modes, the controls are intuitive and responsive, and do a lot to enhance your enjoyment of the game. So far, this game has amazing graphics, stunning art design borrowed from the film, tight controls, and multiple gameplay modes, but it still feels like there's something missing from the movie. Oh yeah, the fantastic soundtrack. Batman Returns soundtrack is beautiful and features music adapted directly from Danny Elfman's score from the motion picture. The composing team from Konami, who have always been known for their fantastic video game soundtracks, did an incredible job creating a compelling soundtrack that not only was fun to listen to, but also contributed to the game's fantastic atmosphere. There really isn't much more I can say about it. The soundtrack is perfect for this game. One of the biggest knocks on movie license games is sometimes they have little or nothing to do with the film they represent, which is actually kind of funny because Batman Returns is actually accused of having a lack of originality because it focuses on 7 scenes directly from the film. As I mentioned earlier, the game's story mode basically takes you through the main plot of the movie. You start out at the Gotham tree lighting, where Batman first faces the Penguin circus crew, right up to the first boss, who's the taser-wielding Hood who captures Selina Kyle. Probably the darkest plot twist on the Super Nintendo is after your second fight with Catwoman, where they reenact the Bats knocking Miss Gotham off the roof to her death. The final level is one of my absolute favorites, as it takes you to the Frozen Penguin exhibit at the Gotham Zoo. I love how the penguins are featured in the forefront and background of the stage, and their interactive missiles fire off as you progress. The first boss of the stage is the penguin and his giant duck. That's attention to detail right there. They even got the stupid duck in there. The game's final scene is in the sewer under Gotham, where you face the final battle with the penguin. This fight isn't too challenging until he starts flying around on his umbrella and is unhittable. Now's the time to use the test tube so you can knock him down and deal the final blow. Batman Returns is easily one of the top 5 beat-em-up games on the Super Nintendo. Not only that, but it's also a near-perfect movie license game. If you're a fan of the movie, the Cape Crusader, or beat-em-up games in general, you owe it to yourself to try Batman Returns. Anyways, this is MichaelBtheGameGenie, and I'll talk to you next time. What did you say your name was again?
I'm Batman.
It sure is.